Hello everyone. We are going to learn about share and its types in this video. What do you mean by share? Share is also known as stocks or equity, which represents ownership in a company. When you buy shares of a company, you become a partial owner of that company and you are entitled to get certain rights and privileges. Shares are typically divided into different types based on various factors, which includes voting rights, dividend entitlement, and priority in receiving assets in the event of liquidation. Types of shares. There are various types in these shares. We are going to learn one by one. The first and foremost type is equity shares. Shares which are paid dividends only when profits are left after the preference shareholders have been paid fixed rate of dividends is known as equity shares. There is no fixed rate of dividend in case of equity shares. The equity shareholders receive nothing if in any year there are no profits or insufficient profits. Then the second type of share is preference shares. As the name indicates, these shareholders will get two preferences when compared to equity shareholders. The first preference is these preference shareholders are liable to receive the dividend at a fixed rate before any dividend is paid on the equity shares. At the time of winding up of the company, they have the right to return of capital before that of equity shares. They also have the right to participate in excess profit when a specified dividend has been paid on the equity shares or the right to receive premium at the time of redemption. So these preference shareholders will get two preferences. The first one is they will get dividend at a fixed rate, and at the time of liquidation of the company they will get back their capital before the equity shareholders. So the equity shares can be further divided into on the basis of definition. Equity shares are classified on the basis of definition as bonus shares, right shares, voting and non-voting shares, sweat equity shares. Bonus shares are the shares the company offers to its existing shareholders as a bonus. Right shares are shares which is offered to existing shareholders the right to buy shares in a new issue before the general public. Voting and non-voting shares usually provide voting rights to investors. Sweat shares refers to those shares that the company offers to its employees or directors to reward them at a price less than the par value or for non-cash consideration. It's like doing some consideration for the employees. Then equity shares can also be classified on the basis of returns. The first one is dividend stock, growth stock, and value stocks. These are all the types of equity share. Now we are going to learn about the types of preference shares. Preference share can also be classified on the basis of RES. The first type is cumulative preference shares, non-cumulative preference shares. Cumulative preference shares in which the shareholders are entitled to recover the arrears of preference dividend before any dividend is paid on. Non-cumulative preference shares are when the shareholders of shares get a fixed amount of dividend out of the profit of each year on the basis of share in profit. The second classification is made on the basis of share in profits, participating preference shares and non-participating preference shares. If the shares which allow the shareholders to participate in the surplus of profit, it is known as participating preference shares. When shares that get only a fixed rate of dividend every year and do not carry a right to participate in the surplus profit is known as non-participating preference shares. The third classification is on the basis of convertibility. If the preference shares are converted into equity shares as per the terms of issue, then it is known as convertible preference shares. If the shares cannot be converted into equity shares are known as non-convertible preference shares. So these are all the classification of preference shares. The fourth type is classified on the basis of redemption. Redeemable and irredeemable preference shares. The shares which will be repaid by the company within a stipulated period, it is known as redeemable preference share. The shares in which the capital cannot be refunded before wind up is known as irredeemable. These shares cannot be redeemable at all. So it is known as irredeemable preference shares. So these are all the various types of equity shares and preference shares. This classification is made upon various factors. Equity and preference shares have few similarities and few differences too. Both have their own advantages and disadvantages. Thanks for patiently listening.